Hello children, it is me, McGrouch, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SG-8P Punisher Plasma. This gun may look like a shotgun. It may sound like a shotgun. But listen to me. It's not a shotgun. This is a goddamn brick lobber. You point and fire this weapon at an enemy, and it stops them in their tracks. Sorry, did I say enemy? I meant enemies. This weapon fires explosive projectiles. The radius of these projectiles does 150 damage at the center and heavily staggers those hit. And when I say heavily stuns, I mean heavily stuns. And repeatedly stuns. Yeah, this gun is a pump action, but the stun effect is long enough that it's not difficult to actively stun lock an entire group of enemies while a drone or a friend whittles them down. The Punisher Plasma, it's an interesting weapon, making up for its lack of damage output by focusing entirely on crowd control, not to mention the arc projectile path. Now, that might seem like a disadvantage because it severely limits your range, but it does enable you to attack enemies from behind cover. Watch this patrol. Don't see it? That's because I killed it already. From behind a rock. While the damage output of this weapon is not amazing, it is definitely good enough. It takes 2 shots to put down your average rank and file light infantry, and about 4 shots to take out medium enemies. Now, those 4 shots, that's a lot. It may not sound like a lot, but when the gun is pump action, it absolutely is. Now, for ground-based targets, that's fine because you'll be splashing them anyways, and because of this, this weapon is great against both bots and bugs. The one area where it suffers is when you try to take it against illuminates. The issue is not the voteless. Actually, I think that this is one of the best weapons to take against the voteless in a vacuum. But we're not in a vacuum. We're in Helldivers, and in Helldivers, the voteless are always backed by overseers. The ones on the ground, no biggie. The explosive nature of this weapon even lets you just completely ignore their shield. The issue comes from the elevated overseer, the ones on the jetpacks. Because they are not on the ground, you cannot reliably hit them with AoE damage by shooting the main massive enemies. Instead, you need to go out of your way to put 4 shots into them, and while you're doing that, you're gonna get overrun. I don't think that this makes the Punisher Plasma a bad pick for the Illuminates. I just think it makes it an interesting pick for the Illuminates. Now let's have a look at the loadouts you might be taking this gun with. Firstly, your secondary. I would recommend the Redeemer or something else that you can use at close range without fear of blowing yourself up, because this gun will absolutely turn your body into 18 discrete pieces. Having something that you can safely switch to if you ever run out of ammo at an inopportune moment is vital. As for stratagems, I would have to recommend the Las drone. It can be DPSing while you're stunning. It's a match made in heaven. Then take an EAT because your backpack slot is going to be taken up, and then just throw on whatever 2 destructive stratagems you like. Finally, we have the strategy you should be using with the Punisher Plasma. Just like happens to a lot of guys, the projectile explodes before it even makes contact. Because of this, it's not really feasible to be hitting crit spots. What you should focus on instead is shooting the feet of large groups of enemies so you can apply the stagger and the damage to as many things as possible. Also, if you find yourself with a team, this weapon all of a sudden jumps from pretty good to actually really good. Your teammates can pick up the slack and damage that you are going to leave behind by taking this. Anyway, that's the Punisher Plasma. It's a solid gun that provides what might be the best stunification in the game, and it only costs it range, fire speed, and damage. Give it a go the next time you drop in. Bye.
Subscribe to me, coach. 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 Subscribe to me, coach.